Welcome back, Ohana.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody
gets left behind.
Be sure, I will have increased your financial knowledge and helped you solve your query by the end of this video. A few years ago, I had a query: should I pay off my credit card or save? And I knew I had to create this video to help others with the same query in the future. Be sure to subscribe if you find value in this video. Let's cut the intro short and dive into the video. There are a number of good reasons to save first and pay down debt later. Some of the top reasons include: 1. Debt with a very low interest rate. 2. Access to an employer 401k match program. 3. No emergency savings. If you have a credit card or other debt with a very low interest rate, it may make sense to save first. Another situation where it makes sense to save before paying off debt is if you have access to a retirement savings plan through your job, especially if there's an employer match available. Try to contribute at least enough to get the maximum employer match. If you aren't doing this, you are effectively turning away free money. And putting off saving for retirement until you are debt-free could cost you your most valuable asset: time. With compound interest, even small contributions to your retirement plan can grow significantly. However, the top reason to make saving a top priority over paying down debt is to build your emergency fund. Without some money saved up, you could simply wind up adding to your credit card debt in order to pay for an unexpected car repair or a trip to the emergency room. If you don't have any savings, focusing solely on paying debt can backfire when unexpected needs or costs come up. You might need to borrow again, and debt can become a revolving door. What could go wrong, you may ask? Well, lots of things, especially now. The importance of this fund has been highlighted in the age of coronavirus. 23% of Americans said their biggest financial regret during this pandemic was not having enough emergency savings to weather the crisis in a Bankrate survey. Saving first, and building up a decent emergency fund, could be the difference between weathering tough times and winding up in bankruptcy court. So, how much should you save? Experts recommend building an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses and stashing it in a savings account. Some even recommend putting enough cash in the bank to be able to pay your expenses for an entire year. I suggest starting first with a goal to cover a single month's expenses. While you are at it, try shopping around with different banks in order to get the best possible rate on your savings. Interest rates are very low right now, which typically means two things. People don't have as much incentive to save, but they do have more incentive to buy or get a loan. However, you shouldn't let these low rates discourage you from saving, because if there's one thing we've learned from the coronavirus crisis, it's that hard times come when you're least expecting them. Prepare for that next emergency now. But if your scenario is like this, try to prioritize debt repayment. If you have high-interest consumer debt, paying it down first can help you solve ongoing problems with managing your money. You'll get a guaranteed return by cutting your interest payments. It's typically more than you'd earn in the stock market and definitely more than you'd earn in a savings account. To get started with repaying your debt, here are a few things to take a look at. 1. Calculate your expendable income. What's left after taxes, bills, and food? 2. List all your regular expenses, even if they're periodic, and see if there's anything you can eliminate. 3. Create a budget based on that number and include paying down debt as a significant part of the equation. It also helps to identify what your financial goals are, so you can prioritize them in your budget. In this case, we're assuming that paying off debt is your number one priority. By accounting for a monthly repayment in your budget, it will better ensure that you still have money left over for necessities. Another option to look at is a credit card balance transfer. This can allow you to consolidate all of your credit card debt onto one low-rate card and save you money on finance charges. However, if you already have adequate savings in your emergency fund, you may want to focus on quickly eliminating debt. If you find yourself making only minimum payments on debts, with extremely high interest rates, those debts may be causing you to lose money and preventing you from achieving your overall financial goals, and you may want to focus on paying off that costly debt. An important part of building a budget is focusing on your priority expenses first, so that you can free up money to put toward a debt reduction plan, while hopefully still being able to contribute to an emergency fund. When deciding whether to pay off tax-deductible debt versus saving, don't worry about losing a tax deduction if you pay off the debt. The deduction is probably worth less than the annual interest you would have paid on the loan. In conclusion, the best solution could be to strike a balance between saving and paying off debt. You might be paying more interest than you should, but having savings to cover sudden expenses will keep you out of the debt cycle. Additionally, having sufficient savings provides peace of mind. Some people are unlikely to feel at ease with any strategy that causes their savings to fall below a certain level. For them, saving and paying down debt at the same time might be the best approach. Hope you got value to help you make a good decision based on your circumstances. Be sure to subscribe.